Come Deliverance 2 has been out for a little minute now, and I figured this would be a good time to release a tips video for the game. This is going to be an early tips, kind of things that I wish I knew before I started. I did waste quite a few hours at the beginning of my game, so hopefully this video can save you from doing the same. And of course, if you do find this video helpful along the way, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content. Now, before we really get stuck into the video, I would like to say that this is an open world, narrative driven RPG in which you should play any way you want. I'm just some random on the internet that you're watching right now. I'm hoping to save you a little bit of time, but please take these tips with a grain of salt. You know, there is no right or wrong in these games. In fact, messing up is half the fun. Now, tip number one is going to be about sharpening your weapons. Yes, good weapon maintenance is really important. And if you find a sharpening wheel, you are allowed to use it. Just get that wheel spinning and angle it with the most amount of sparks possible. If you end up getting some smoke, that means you've angled it too much. And of course, keep doing so until Henry tells you that that's as good as it's going to get. Tip number two, leveling. Now, I've been leveling for quite a few hours in this game, but I didn't realize that there were perk points to spend and perks to unlock. Yes, that's right. Every single time that you level up a skill or maybe even your main level, you're going to be unlocking perks that you're able to unlock and essentially make your character a lot stronger. So don't waste too much time. Go into that inventory and assign those perks. Now, there's going to be loads of perks you're going to get throughout the game, but just don't do what I did and waste a dozen hours without using a single one. As you can see down at the bottom of the screen, I have 20 perk points that I can assign. I mean, the game's tough, but apparently it didn't need to be that tough. Tip number three, this game is in depth in a sense that if you pick up an apple or even some bread, over time that freshness will degrade. Now, you are a character that needs to eat. You need to keep that food bar ticking over every single day. Now, if you eat food that is not fresh, you could actually end up poisoning yourself. So pay close attention to the food you're picking up, pay close attention to how long you've had it, and don't pick up more than you can actually use. Tip number four, skill books. There are many skill books in this game. Some of them you can find around the world. Many of them you can buy from shops and vendors. Now, right at the beginning of the game, as this game kind of opens up and you've got through the prologue, just up here is a room. Now, it's locked right now, but if you come here at the right time of the day, it will not be. And you'll be able to get that really, really snazzy sword skill book early in your game. Now, you do have to read them, and it does take a lot of time to read them. It's probably going to take more than one session, but it's a really good idea to waste a couple of hours at the end of your day before you go to bed learning any books in your inventory. Tip number five is, did you know if you're missing a little bit of health, you can actually take a nap in order to recover some health. Now, it is a little bit slow. There are potions you can use to make it quicker, but that's in a bed whether you own it or not. Tip number six is, did you know near the beginning of your game, you can actually buy a permanent residence? Just right, you can buy a permanent bed at the local lodge. Now, that comes equipped with a box that you can put all of the gear that you don't want to carry around with you, and that box is going to be linked to any other box that you currently own in the game as well. Now, it does cost 120 groschen, so that's going to set you a little bit of time to actually go about getting, but it's well worth doing so. And this is in a little offspring of the town that you start in, so it's really, really easy for you to be able to get to this early game. As you can see, it's right here on the map. If I just zoom out a little bit, it's west of our starting location. Tip number seven, a great way to make some groschen is by actually stealing and selling a horse. Yes, that's right. If you see any horse around, you do have the ability to steal it. Of course, stolen horses can be sold at a nomad camp, or they can be sold any black market horse vendor. So take a little look-see for them. When you very first start your game, though, I've just shown you on the map exactly where the nomad camp is. Right there is a black market horse vendor. Different horses do fetch different amounts of money. You can also make one of those stolen horses legitimately yours as well. It can cost a couple of hundred groschen to do so, but it's well worth owning your first horse. And of course, just try not to get caught, because if you do get caught, it is going to cost you at least a save scum. But it's a great way to earn a lot of money relatively quickly if you time it right. Tip number 8 is a really important one: health potions. Learning alchemy in this game is really advisable. There are some very, very good worthwhile potions for you to learn how to build right at the beginning of the game. The potion I'm going to show you in this video, however, is the health potion. Now, if you make it, it will be added to your alchemy book. So if you go ahead and make this potion from this video, that potion is going to be popped in your book, and then you can follow those instructions every single time. It's right there for you. It's quite easy. In fact, most of the potions from Kingdom Come Deliverance #1 do work in this game as well, but they are the weak variants of them. I'm going to show you how to make a strong health potion, and all we need is marigolds and nettles. Now, in the starting location, as the game opens up to you, we are just here. There is a trader around the corner, and of course an alchemy bench that we can use. Now, if we have a little look-see at our book, because I have already made this once in the game, this is the marigold potion. So as you can see, we need 1 nettle and 2 marigolds to make this work. We're going to be adding water first of all, and then we are going to lower that to boil as well. There's our first nettle in there, or our one and only nettle, I should say. Let's lower that down onto the heat. Now we actually need to have that heating for 2 turns of the timer. So keep that in mind, 2 turns of the timer. Now we're going to grab the marigold. We're going to have 2 loads of marigold in our mortar and pestle. Let's just make sure we turn over that timer one more time. And we can grab another marigold and pop that in the mortar and pestle as well. You can do this beforehand. It doesn't really matter what order you put that marigold down. We're going to pop those bellows just to get that water raising a little bit. Don't do it too fast. So don't just pump, because it's going to over boil. So let's ground down that marigold, and we're going to straight add that to the pot. After that, your potion is ready, and this is really, really good stuff. So we just grab one of those and fill it right up. Let's see what we get. Honestly, this stuff is really handy. Make as many as you can for as long as you can. There we go. We made a strong marigold potion, as you can see right there. It heals you for 40 points. Tip number 9 is simple, simply because the game is so complicated. You need to plan out your journeys smartly, because there is a day and night cycle, and everyone in this world has their own life to lead. So in other words, if you arrive somewhere too late, perhaps the person you're there trying to see just isn't there yet. Tip number 9 is something that I kind of wish I knew a little bit sooner, but it tells you how you know if you're allowed to be in a room or not. As you can see, I am visiting a vendor right then. I was allowed to be in there. Everything was good and golden. But if I step inside this door above my compass, you can see a blue mark happening. That shows me that that room is private. I'm not supposed to be in there, and if someone does see me in there, they're going to get a little bit antsy. As you can see, if I pop in again, it appears. If I pop out, it will disappear. That lets you know if you're in a place where you shouldn't actually be. So be careful who sees you. But there we have it, guys. That is my tips and tricks for you. If you have any that you want to share with the rest of the community, don't forget to comment them down in the comment section. We do have an active and growing Discord as well, so maybe think about jumping in there and let us know how your experiences of this game are going. You can find a link for that down in the description of the video. I really hope that at least one of these tips was useful to you, and if it was, then I'm glad I could be of help. But until next time, I've been a monk who's been increasingly curious, and I'll see you in the next video real soon. Until then, take it easy and happy gaming.
Good gracious, Henry, you don't mean to tell me you don't know Latin?